We just look at it. Look at that. Joey tossed his book bag on the floor, hit the book pile, and crashed. Look at that. So I told him, leave it there. I'll get it because it's a new month anyway. I wanted to pick the Victorian books out of that pile for next month. I found 6 books that qualify for next month's reading challenge. Next month is October, and here the Christians say it's 2025. Now the Jews disagree, the Islamists disagree. It's probably like the 1600s because it's the Salem witch trials in Luzerne County. Anyway, Victober is a celebration of the Victorian era, and that is from 1837 to 1901. So the challenge for next month, every October, is to read a book during that period. Now, why is that period specific? That is the Victorian era where Queen Victoria reigned. Now, I am shooting on my cell phone today. I'm typing on this computer. Queen Victoria was the Queen of the United Kingdom and Ireland. She reigned 63 years, 216 days, which was longer than those of her predecessors. Okay, so the Victober, they call it Victober, and I've been celebrating, this is probably going to be my 4th year celebrating it, okay? But these are the books that are on the floor that I had to pick up that qualify in that period. I have 3, and you see it? Henry James books. Now, I did read one of them last year. Might be a book review on here. I read The American. Now, that symbol, this is about, let me put my glasses on and I'm going to read it to you on the back. I did read it. It was a failed love story, a romance that did not work out between an American businessman and I'm pretty sure she was French. I was an aristocrat, and this is The American. It's a novel rich in the way in which it draws archetypal myths and mimetic modes. Simple romance. History of a man's dream of a better world, traveling to strange lands, and marriage to high noble ladies. Okay, so this might be the story of the American business bum, because this, like I said, this marriage, he wanted it to work out, and it did not work out. And if I remember correctly, I think, her country, banned him, banished him, wanted him to get the fuck out of their whole country. There might be a booktube video on this channel already, because like I said, that was last year I read that. This year, I'm probably not ready for this one. I'm probably not, okay? This says, back when New York was still young, the heiress Catherine Sloper was a simple, plain girl, grew up in opulence with her disappointed father and a fluttery aunt in a grand house on Washington Square. Enter Morris Townsend, a handsome charmer who assures Catherine he loves her for herself and not for her money. I'm not going to pick this one up yet. Okay, but the other one by James, I did not finish, but I did start last year. I don't remember what it's all about. It says, not much on the back of this. It's like these people, they didn't write much about it because they probably didn't read it. I read some of it. Portrait of a Lady. I mean, the best part about literature, like, is the descriptiveness. Like, it's about the Thames River, London. Here, I'll read you a chapter. It says, "It stood upon a low hill above the river being the Thames, at some 40 miles from London, a long gabled front of red brick, with the complexion of which time and the weather had played all sorts of pictorial tricks, only, however, to improve and refine it, presented to the lawn its patches of ivy, clustered chimneys, windows smothered in creepers. The house had a name and a history. The old gentleman taking his tea would have been delighted to tell you these things, how it had been built under Edward VI, and offered a night's hospitality to the great Elizabeth, whose august person had extended itself upon a huge, magnificent, and terribly angular bed, which still formed the principal honor of the sleeping apartments, had been a good deal bruised and defaced in Cromwell's wars, and then under the Restoration repaired much and enlarged, and how finally, after having been remodeled and disfigured in the 18th century, it had passed into the careful keeping of the shrewd American banker who had bought it originally, because owing to circumstances too complicated to set forth, it was offered at a great bargain. Bought it with much grumbling and ugliness, its antiquity, its incommodity, and who now, at the end of 20 years, had become conscious of a real aesthetic passion for it, so that he knew all the points and would just tell you where to stand to see them in combination with the hour when the shadows of the various protuberances which fell so softly upon the warm, weary brickwork were of the right measure. It's like, maybe it's just, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful cover. I did enjoy this book, but I did not finish it because it's like a really big book compared to the other book. You know what I'm saying? We just read that. There's a lot of words in there. It's beautifully written, though, right? I do enjoy it. Okay, hold on. The other ones, that's the 3 James books I have that would qualify. We also have Charles Dickens would qualify as a book in the Victorian era. This is a stirring tale of resurrection and renunciation set within the turmoil of the revolutionary France. Regarded as one of Dickens' best stories, it is certainly one of his most popular. Superficially, it appears at least his novels. You know, this back might have been written by somebody who didn't read it. I mean, it's not a spoiler. Maybe, look at how pretty that is. Maybe this will be the one I will try. I have not tried. I tried this years ago, but I think I'll try it again, maybe. This might be it. This might be what I'm going to read for Victober. My only other choices, because I don't want James, is... this is another Dickens, but it's not the whole book. See, it's Bleak House, but whatever I bought is only a couple chapters of it, I guess. The report on the sanitary conditions of the laboring population of 1842. If you go in this booktube video, there's already me reviewing that portion. It's the sanitary conditions of the city, December 1850 through January 1851. So I would like to read Bleak House, but I don't have it. This is just like half of it or something. The cover fell off. So as much as I love to hold the real books while I listen to audiobooks too, I'm probably gonna have to do that. Unless I do this, which is another big one. This is the last Victorian book that fell off this pile that would qualify. This is Jane Eyre. Let me tell you what this is about. she was an orphan. Orphan Jane Eyre grows up in the home of a heartless aunt. And, you know, I tried this, I think 2 years ago. And it was triggering because she was locked in a room or something. Like, somebody was bullying her, I think. And I wasn't ready for it then. And I'm still not sure if I want to hear about these heartless people because I had about enough of them. Okay? But anyway, it's a great story. But you just have to be, like, ready to enjoy this stuff because it's not Barney. You know what I'm saying? So the troubled childhood strengthens Jane's natural independence and spirit. She does take a position as a governess at Thornfield Hall, finds love with a sardonic employer, Rochester, and the discovery of his terrible secret. You know, you want to read it because you want to know, well, what's his terrible secret, you know? Anyway, she had to make a choice. Should she stay with him and live the consequences or follow her convictions, even if it means leaving the man she loves? An intrigue, a novel of intense power and intrigue. I don't want to hear any heartless assholes. Like, not today. So it's going to have to be Bleak House if I can get a better copy, because, like, that, I just read The London Poor by Mayhew. So I really enjoyed that, and I think Bleak House was probably be a lot like that. I enjoyed The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, which was about the meatpacking industry in Chicago, and the horrible working conditions about the immigrants that came from Lithuania to work in Chicago, and they felt scammed, like they wanted to go back. It was that bad in Chicago. It was better in Lithuania. So I gotta pick up this pile of books, so I just thought I'd tell you about it. All right, have a great day.